your hands inside the car!
This is my favorite pizza place.
Tony!
I'm being set up for something. You ever think about that? Like your whole life just built into pizza?
No. When you were hauling chickens in the summer for guys, what was the furthest you ever got on the island?
Went all over. Never found a place like this, though. Look at the sunset. That's the big guy.
Quite a paintbrush he's got. Just between you and me, Marlon. For a while.
You want to book the flight?
Doesn't matter. I'll make other arrangements. Okay?
Last call for Chicago! All aboard!
Thank you.
Windy City, here we come. Hi. Hello.
Everything's gonna be okay. It's all gonna be fine.
I don't know what to think, Marlon. Maybe I'm losing my mind, but it feels like the whole world revolves around me somehow.
It's a lot of world for one man, Truman. Sure that's not wishful thinking? You wishing you... Remember that time I stayed up with you all night in your tent? Because you wanted to play North Pole? And I got pneumonia? You remember that? You were out of school for about a month. You're the closest thing I ever had to a brother, Truman. I know that things haven't really worked out for either of us like we used to dream they would. I know that feeling when it's like everything's slipping away and you don't want to believe it, so you look for answers somewhere else. But, well, the point is, I would gladly step in front of traffic for you, Truman.
And the last thing I'd ever do is lie to you.
And the last thing that I would ever do is lie to you. I mean, think about it, Truman. If everybody is in on it, I'd have to be in on it, too. I'm not in on it, Truman, because there is no it. You were right about one thing, though. The thing that started all this.
I found him for you, Truman. That's why I came by tonight. Sure, he's got quite a story to tell.
Go to him. Easy on the fog. Stand by crane cam. Crane cam. Button cam 3.
I never stopped believing.
Film for close up?
No. Fade up music. And now go close.
Years wasted. I'll make it up to you, son. I swear. Dad.
Bravo!
That will win the ratings period.
Congratulations.
Okay, everybody, quiet down. Let's concentrate.
Great television. That was good work.
Christoph.
It was brilliant. Just broke my...
Well done, everyone.
Bravo.
Congratulations.
1.7 billion were there for his birth. 220 countries tuned in for his first step. The world stood still for that stolen kiss. And as he grew, so did the technology. An entire human life recorded on an intricate network of hidden cameras and broadcast live and unedited 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to an audience around the globe. Constructed, and along with the Great Wall of China, one of the visible from space. Now, in its 30th great year, it's the Truman Show!
What a week it's been. I don't know about you. I was on pins and needles the entire time. Hello, and good evening. I'm your host, Mike Michelson, and welcome to True Talk, our forum for issues growing out of the show. But tonight, something very special indeed. A rare and exclusive interview with the show's conceiver and creator. So, come with us now as we go live to the Lunar Room on the 221st floor of the Omnicam Ecosphere. That's where we'll find the world's greatest televisionary, the designer and architect of the world within a world that is Sea Haven Island, Crystal. Before we begin, I'd like to thank you on behalf of our audience for granting this exclusive interview. We know how demanding your schedule is, and we all know how jealously you guard your privacy. This, sir, is indeed an honor.
Don't mention it.
Well, the catalyst for the recent dramatic events on the show has been, of course, Truman's father, Kirk, and his attempts to infiltrate the show. But before we get into that, I think it's worth noting that this is not the first time that someone from the outside has attempted to reach Truman, is it?
We have had our close calls in the past.
Truman! It's television! Yes! Yes! I did it on the Truman Show!
But there's never been anything to compare with this most recent breach in security, the first intruder to be a former cast member.
A dead one at that.
Gotta say, writing Kirk back in, masterstroke.
Since Kirk started this whole crisis in Truman's life, I came to the conclusion that he was the only one who could end it.
Truman! Truman! No! That's off limits!
Why? What's over there?
Nothing. It's dangerous, that's all. You've got to know your limitations, Truman.
But let's remind viewers of exactly why Dad was written out in the first place.
As Truman grew up, we were forced to manufacture ways to keep him on the island.
I'd like to be an explorer,
like the Great Magellan.
Oh, you're too late. There's really nothing left to explore.
Finally, I came up with the concept of Kirk's drowning.
Most effective. Truman's been terrified of the water ever since.
When Kirk read the synopsis for the Death at Sea episode, he was disappointed, to say the least. And I'm sure that's what caused him to break back onto the set.
But how do you intend to explain his 22-year absence?
Amnesia.
Brilliant. Let's take some of those viewer phone calls. Charlotte, North Carolina, you're on with Christoph.
Hi, Christoph. I was just wondering how many cameras you got there in that town.
Somewhere in the vicinity of 5,000.
Oh, that's a lot of cameras.
Remember, we started with just one. He was curious from birth, premature by 2 weeks. It was almost as if he couldn't wait to get started.
And of course, his eagerness to leave his mother's womb was the very reason he was the one who was elected.
In competition with 5 other unwanted pregnancies, the casting of a show determined by an air date, Truman was the one who arrived on cue.
Incidentally, I believe Truman is the first child to have been legally adopted by a corporation.
That's correct.
The show has generated enormous revenues now equivalent to the gross national product of a small country.
People forget it takes the population of an entire country to keep the show running.
Mm-hmm. Since the show is on 24 hours a day without commercial interruption, all those staggering revenues are generated by product placement.
That's true. Everything on the show is for sale, from the actor's wardrobe, food products, to the very homes they live in.
And, of course, all of it available in the Truman catalog, and operators are standing by. Christoph, let me ask you, why do you think that Truman has never come close to discovering the true nature of his world until now?
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
The Hague for Christoph. Hello. The Hague. All right, we've lost that call. Let's go to Hollywood, California. You're on True Talk.
Hi, Christoph. I'd just like to say one thing. You're a liar and a manipulator, and what you've done to Truman is sick.
Well, we remember this voice, don't we? How could we forget?
Let's go to another call. What do we
No,
have?
no, it's fine. It's fine, Mike. I love to reminisce with former members of the cast. Sylvia, as you announced so melodramatically to the world, you think because you batted your eyes at Truman once, flirted with him, stole a few minutes of airtime with him to thrust yourself and your politics into the limelight, that you know him? That you know what's right for him? You really think you're in a position to judge him?
What right do you have to take a baby and turn his life into some kind of mockery? Don't you ever feel guilty?
I have given Truman the chance to lead a normal life. The world, the place you live in, is the sick place. Sea Haven is the way the world should be.
He's not a performer. He's a prisoner. Look at him. Look at what you've done to him.
He could leave at any time. If his was more than just a vague ambition, if he was absolutely determined to discover the truth, there's no way we could prevent him. I think what distresses you, really, caller, is that ultimately Truman prefers his cell, as you call it.
Oh, that's where you're wrong. You're so wrong, and he'll prove you wrong.
Well, aside from heated comments of a very vocal minority, it's been an overwhelmingly positive experience.
Yes, for Truman and for the viewing public.
Well, Christoph, I can't thank you enough for giving so generously of your time tonight. I think it's safe to say that now that this crisis is behind us and that Truman is back to his old self, we can look forward to some exciting new developments.
Well, Mike, the big news is that Merrill will be leaving Truman in an upcoming episode, and a new romantic interest will be introduced. I'm determined that television's first on-air conception will still take place.
Well, another television milestone straight ahead. And you heard it here first. It has been a singular honor and a pleasure, sir. Christoph, thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Hey, Simeon.
Wow, is he looking at us?
Jesus, do you think he knows?
Hello? Better call Christoph.
Hello? Come in, Major Burbank.
He's back to his old self. That's an unusual cat, my man.
I hereby proclaim this planet Trumania of the Burbank Galaxy.
Okay.
You gonna go?
Lies, the same deceit. But in my world, you have nothing to fear. I know you better than you know yourself.
You never had a camera in my head.
You're afraid. That's why you can't leave. It's okay, Truman. I understand. I have been watching you your whole life. I was watching when you were born. I was watching when you took your first step. I watched you on your first day of school. The episode when you lost your first tooth. You can't leave, Truman.
I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Yeah.
Cease transmission.
Ceasing transmission.
You want another slice?
No, I'm okay.
What else is on?
Yeah, let's see what else
Where's
is
the
on.
TV guide?